Imagine being terminally ill, unable to work, barely able to breathe. Now imagine the person you trust most is the one accused of ending your life. This is the verified story of Wendi Andriano, a woman sentenced to death for the murder of her husband, and a case that still raises painful questions about love, illness, money, and justice. Wendi Andriano married Joseph Joe Andriano in Arizona. Together, they had 2 children. By the late 1990s, Joe was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer. His condition worsened. He became weak, nauseated, and increasingly dependent. He could no longer work. Most of the household responsibility fell on Wendi. By all accounts, their marriage became strained under the pressure of illness, finances, and emotional exhaustion. During this time, prosecutors later presented evidence that Wendi had multiple extramarital relationships. They also showed that she attempted to obtain life insurance policies on Joe. Some attempts failed because of his medical condition. The state argued these actions showed financial motive. Wendi denied that money motivated her actions. Investigators later discovered that Joe had sodium azide in his system. Sodium azide is a toxic chemical often used in industrial settings. It can cause vomiting, difficulty breathing, and rapid organ failure. Medical experts testified that Joe's symptoms before death were consistent with sodium azide poisoning. Wendi later told investigators the poison was connected to a suicide attempt by Joe, a claim prosecutors rejected. On October 8, 2000, Wendi called 911. She reported that Joe was having a medical emergency. Later that day, she made another call stating she had stabbed him in self-defense. When police arrived, Joe was dead. The autopsy revealed shocking findings. Joe had been struck in the head at least 23 times with a bar stool. He also had a deep stab wound to the neck, and sodium azide was found in his body. Medical examiners concluded his death was a homicide. At trial, Wendi testified in her own defense. She claimed Joe had been abusive. The poisoning was connected to a suicide attempt. The stabbing occurred in self-defense. But prosecutors challenged her credibility. Witnesses testified that Joe was extremely weak and unlikely to have attacked anyone. The jury rejected her explanation. In November 2004, a jury found Wendi Andriano guilty of first-degree murder. The jury later determined the crime was especially cruel. In December 2004, she was sentenced to death. The Arizona Supreme Court later upheld both her conviction and her sentence. Wendi Andriano remains on death row at the Arizona State Prison Complex in Perryville. She has continued to maintain her innocence. Her legal appeals have not overturned her conviction. This case is not just about a crime. It is about what happens when illness, resentment, money, and desperation collide. It is about a man who was dying and a woman a jury believed helped end his life. Wendi Andriano was never declared innocent, but she was also never granted another chance to convince the world she was. Some stories end with answers, others end with verdicts that still echo, and this is one of them.